What if you could rebuild your strength after 70, without protein shakes, gym routines, or expensive supplements? Japan's oldest doctor, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, lived to 105. He was still seeing patients in his hundreds, still walking, still teaching. His secret? A gentle three-part ritual practiced each morning by millions of Japanese seniors, and one step takes less than 5 minutes. If you've been feeling drained, foggy, or a little off lately, this simple morning rhythm might be your body's quiet way of asking to begin again. After 60, something subtle begins to shift. You wake up slower, your digestion feels heavier, and even with a full night's sleep, your energy feels unfinished. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara believed this wasn't just aging, it was the body falling out of rhythm, and he spent over 7 decades showing people how to restore it, gently and joyfully. In this video, we'll walk through 4 morning steps he lived by, steps that activate your body's healing systems, from your stress hormones to your cells to your memory. Let's begin with the Japanese movement that quietly resets your body's internal conductor. 1. The cortisol reset button, Radio Taiso. You might think of cortisol as a stress hormone, but in truth, it's your body's internal clock. Each morning, cortisol is supposed to rise, gently waking your cells, warming your joints, and guiding your energy like a sunrise through your bloodstream. But after 60, something changes. The rhythm gets distorted. Cortisol spikes at the wrong times, or doesn't rise at all. You wake up feeling groggy, stiff, or anxious. And even after breakfast, your body feels like it's still waiting to start. This is where Radio Taiso comes in. It's a slow, rhythmic movement routine practiced by seniors across Japan, often in public parks, barefoot, at sunrise. And according to a 2022 study from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology, just 3 to 6 minutes of this practice each morning led to significant gains in walking speed and agility, even in frail adults over 70. But the true magic? It lies in how these movements reset your cortisol rhythm. You see, Radio Taiso creates something called acute hormetic stress. It's like a gentle tap on your internal conductor, reminding cortisol to rise naturally, then fall gracefully throughout the day. Not too high, not too low, just in tune. And when cortisol flows properly, inflammation decreases, insulin sensitivity improves, and energy feels more stable, like a quiet flame instead of a flickering light. Masao, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Osaka, told me he used to rely on caffeine and naps just to get through the day. But after joining a neighborhood Radio Taiso group each morning at 6:30 a.m., he said something shifted. He didn't feel pumped up. He felt centered, awake, clear, present. Try this tomorrow. Right after waking, open your window, take 6 deep breaths, then play a Radio Taiso video and follow along for just 3 minutes. You don't need perfection, you just need rhythm. Because when your morning rhythm is right, your whole day begins to hum. 2. EGCG and the cellular defense trigger, green tea. What if the key to restoring your energy wasn't in avoiding stress, but inviting just the right kind? That's the quiet genius of green tea, something I drank every morning of my adult life. You see, the compound called EGCG in green tea doesn't act like most antioxidants. It doesn't just clean up damage, it trains your cells to protect themselves. It's a concept called metohormesis, where mild short-term stress actually makes your body stronger, like lifting a light weight or walking uphill. In 2021, researchers at ETH Zurich found that green tea catechins, especially EGCG and ECG, triggered a beneficial stress response in aging cells. This activated catalase and superoxide dismutase, enzymes that defend your body from the oxidative rust of aging. Think of EGCG like a gentle fire drill for your cells. It rings the alarm softly, so your defenses wake up and remember what they were built to do. And when your cells feel supported, not overloaded, not sedated, they become more efficient. Energy production improves, inflammation eases, and even fat metabolism begins to shift. Keiko, 69, told me she used to wake up sluggish, too tired to walk, but too restless to sit. She swapped her sugary latte for a warm cup of matcha with breakfast. After 3 weeks, her skin felt brighter, her thoughts sharper, but what she noticed most was the clarity. Tomorrow morning, why not try what she did? Brew a cup of green tea, or two. Sip it slowly between 7 and 10 a.m. Let your body absorb it, not just as a drink, but as a message. Because your cells are always listening, and sometimes a whisper from nature is stronger than a shout from a pill. By the way, I'd love to know, do you already drink tea in the morning, or is coffee still part of your ritual? Let me know in the comments. Your rhythm might inspire someone else's reset. Now, green tea strengthens the inside of your cells. But what if your first meal of the day could strengthen your brain? Let's look at that next. 3. The gut-brain signal boost, Japanese breakfast. We often think of the brain as separate, a control tower high above the body issuing commands. But in truth, your brain is constantly listening to your gut. And after 60, that connection can go quiet, like a phone line with too much static. The good news? You can strengthen that signal again. And it starts with what you eat for breakfast. Traditional Japanese breakfasts are simple: grilled fish, miso soup, a small bowl of rice, a few pickled vegetables, maybe some seaweed or tamagoyaki. These foods aren't just cultural tradition, they're biological precision. Omega-3s from fish like mackerel and salmon act as signal boosters in the gut-brain highway. They help brain cells and gut bacteria communicate, reducing brain fog, mood swings, and even memory loss. Meanwhile, fermented foods like miso introduce beneficial bacteria that your brain quietly depends on. These bacteria produce compounds like GABA and serotonin, neurotransmitters that regulate calm, focus, and even sleep. As we age, our bodies produce less of these, but our gut can still help. In fact, a 2013 study from Okinawa, known as the KOKOA study, found that seniors with higher omega-3 levels had significantly better memory, even after adjusting for age and education. And many of them weren't taking supplements. They were simply eating what their grandparents ate. Hiroko, 72, told me her mornings used to feel cloudy. I couldn't even find the right words sometimes, she said. Now she begins her day with miso soup and grilled saba. She says it's like someone opened a window in her brain. If you'd like to experience the same, start with breakfast. Within your first 90 minutes of waking, try something gentle. A small piece of grilled fish, like sardine or salmon, a warm bowl of miso soup, maybe with tofu or seaweed, and just a spoonful or two of fermented pickles or natto. No sugar, no cereal, just food that tells your brain, I'm awake, I'm here, let's begin. Because your mind doesn't just run on willpower, it runs on what your gut is whispering, quietly, every morning. And speaking of whispers, what if the most powerful change of all wasn't what you added to your plate, but what you left off? That's where we'll go next. 4. Hara Hachi Bu, the longevity lever. In the West, we often praise a full plate. Don't waste food. Finish what you started. Clean your plate, then maybe dessert. But in Okinawa, where people regularly live past 100, the wisdom is different. They practice Hara Hachi Bu, a quiet rule that means stop eating when you're 80% full. That's it. No diet, no restriction, just enough. Dr. Hinohara lived by this principle daily. He believed that leaving the table just slightly unsatisfied created space, not only in the stomach, but in the mind. And the science? It now echoes what this tradition knew for generations. A review from the National Institute on Aging found that mild caloric restriction in seniors, without malnutrition, reduces oxidative stress, lowers inflammation, and improves insulin sensitivity. Less pressure on your pancreas, more stable energy. A calmer digestive rhythm. Think of it like driving with a lighter foot on the gas. The engine lasts longer, the ride feels smoother. Helen, 68, told me she always heard, "Don't waste food," growing up, so she forced herself to finish meals, even when full. When she tried Hara Hachi Bu, she began pausing halfway through her plate and asking, "Am I still hungry, or just finishing out of habit?" What followed was quiet, but profound. Her bloating disappeared, she slept more deeply, and her afternoon energy, she said, felt like it belonged to someone 20 years younger. You can try the same, starting today. At your next meal, just eat slowly, pause midway through, and gently ask your body, not your brain, have I had enough? If the answer is yes, stop. Let your body carry the rest. Now, something most people don't realize is this. Heavy meals, especially in the morning, can spike cortisol and fog up mental clarity. But in Japan, lighter rhythm-based breakfasts actually support calm energy and clearer thinking. So, while many still believe that a hearty breakfast is essential after 60, the science and decades of lived wisdom quietly say otherwise. Because sometimes, the most healing step is the one you don't take. We've covered a lot this morning, but if there's one thing I hope you take away, it's this. Healing doesn't begin with effort. It begins with rhythm, with listening, with honoring what your body already knows how to do, when we let it. Dr. Hinohara didn't live to 105 because he found a secret shortcut. He simply practiced a sacred simplicity. He moved when the sun rose. He drank green tea like a ritual, not a beverage. He ate with presence, not pressure. And he stopped before he was full. He often said, live long by keeping your heart light, your body moving, and your soul curious. So let me ask you, what part of this morning rhythm speaks to you most right now? Is it the movement, the tea, the breakfast, or the pause before fullness? Because the path back to strength isn't about doing everything. It's about doing one small thing, consistently, with care. Begin tomorrow, stretch, sip, breathe, pause. Let your body remember itself again. I'd love to hear from you. What's the first step you'll try from today's ritual? Leave a comment below. Your story might be the nudge someone else needs to begin. And if you'd like more practical tools for aging with strength, clarity, and calm, tap the subscribe button and click the bell so we can keep learning gently together. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind to your rhythm, and let your mornings become a place of quiet power.